How you guys doing? I'm here to give you my NBA mock draft. The draft is actually tonight. Coverage starts around 7 p.m. on ESPN, I believe. As a part of Beyond Sports Network, I did a roundtable with 7 other writers to compile our mock drafts together, and the link to that will be in the description box below. Please check it out. A lot of hard work was put into it, and I feel we actually did a really good job. However, that's the 8 of us combined. I believe I was mentioned 8 out of the 30 picks, which is phenomenal, but I wanted to give my individual thoughts and show you guys, because starting with the top, I believe I was the only one of the 8 writers who didn't pick Nerlens Noel number 1, and I really wanted to share my thoughts with you guys. Please let me know your opinions as well, and hopefully it all unfolds on actually tonight by when all you see this. But the things we can't predict, like trades and just random in-draft stuff, that'll all be exciting this year. There's a lot of things that are being rumored, but if everything stays the same, here is my picks. Going number 1 overall will be Alex Len out of the University of Maryland, center to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Obviously, it is a toss-up between him and Nerlens Noel out of Kentucky. And the other one probably will go number 6 overall, which is actually where I have it, to the New Orleans Pelicans, or ex-Hornets. I hate the name Pelicans, just like I think most of their fans actually do. But the Cavs' biggest need is actually at center, which narrows it down between the two. And then I'm giving the nod to Len because he's bigger, taller, and in my opinion, more ready to make an impact right now in the NBA than Noel is. Coming off injury, a big man, that young, I think there's a ton of upside, and he's definitely a top 10 pick. And in most other drafts, a top 5 pick, but not number 1 overall. Second probably was the easiest pick. Maybe actually, 2 and 3 were probably the 2 easiest picks I had to do in this draft. Orlando Magic choose second. I haven't taken Victor Oladipo. He was one of the best players in college basketball last season and one of the most clutch shooters. A huge need for Orlando is at shooting guard. Why not take him? He's on the board. He will help out your franchise a lot. Makes perfect sense to me. Number 3 is the Washington Wizards. I am a Washington Wizards fan, and a diehard one at that. I have been through all the Gilbert Arenas drama when we had him and Antoine Jamison and Caron Butler, Larry Hughes, all that stuff. And we've sucked lately. So I want us, but we're on the cusp of something a little bit better now with Bradley Beal. Our biggest need is at small forward, so I was taking Otto Porter out of Georgetown. He's actually a great product, and I think he can help our team a lot. Taking a local product is a no-brainer. It's worked in the past, and it's going to work again. So, at least I hope so. And then at number 4 is the Charlotte Bobcats. I'm taking a player here that not many people have this high as a draft pick. I'm actually going to take Cody Zeller here as the power forward out of University of Indiana. Charlotte has a huge need at the power forward position, which narrows the choice between him and Anthony Bennett. And I'm going to take Zeller over Bennett due to his pure size. Center is another position actually of need for the Bobcats. So he can be converted if need be. So his versatility, you got to go with him at number 4. Number 5, another person that I don't think many people have at number 5. I'm actually taking Trey Burke here with the Phoenix Suns. He's one of the most entertaining players to watch when he was a Wolverine at Michigan. And usually he lived up to the hype that he created, runner-up for the national title last year. If there's one team in the NBA that has a trouble in, creating hype, it might be the Phoenix Suns. He's a fit in terms of personality, and he's going into, a star role that they haven't been able to fill really since Amari and Steve Nash left. So I think he can really actually fit in the Southwest. Number 6, I do have Nerlens Noel going to the Pelicans. Whoever is not taking number 1 probably will fall here, as I said before. Tremendous upside to him, and this will be a very, very interesting pick for the Pelicans. I see him and Anthony Davis making actually a very good tandem together. Number 7 is the Sacramento Kings. I have Ben McLemore out of the University of Kansas going here. In most other drafts, he'd be a top 5 pick, but in terms of team needs, and where everybody else falls, he just falls to number 7. McLemore left college after 1 season to go pro, and I actually see that being a move that pays off for him. He has a ton of potential, and I think that he'll do really well on the West Coast. Number 8 is actually the Detroit Pistons choosing here. They're going to hope that Trey Burke falls to them, and if it does, perfect fit. I think the likely case that doesn't happen, I see them actually taking Michael Carter Williams, the point guard at Syracuse. He's the second best point guard in the draft, I feel. Playing under Jim Boeheim, he has the focus, he has the potential, and I feel that he'll really make a good fit in the Motor City. Number 9, another point guard pick here for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Out of Lehigh, I have C.J. McCollum. Their biggest need is at point guard, and Minnesota has little depth there. So if Carter Williams or Burke fall somehow, they'll be taken right here, but I don't see that happening. So they're going to take the next best point guard, the third best point guard in the draft off in McCollum. So that'll be a good pick for them. And you're noticing that Anthony Bennett keeps slipping. There's always one. I'm actually not even taking him with number 10. Number 10 is the Portland Trail Blazers. They have LaMarcus Aldridge there. So, this is not a pick for the Rose City to make. I actually see them taking Kentavious Caldwell-Pope here out of the University of Georgia. Him or Shabazz Muhammad has the best name in the draft, I'm convinced. Portland actually has a nice balance of players, and this could be a good springboard for them to make it back into the playoffs. A good amount of depth is actually in the front court for them, not only with LaMarcus Aldridge, but Nicholas Batum, I believe. And then, so they got to take someone in the backcourt. It makes sense to take Kentavious Caldwell-Pope here, a little bit of lack of depth at the shooting guard position, so I see them picking him up. And then number 11, finally, Anthony Bennett will be taken out of UNLV here. In most people's drafts, he's taken in the top 5. I just see him being the one that slips, but that doesn't mean you sacrifice quality at all here. He is a top 5 quality pick, and the city of Brotherly Love will be happy to take him, especially with their needs at front court. So Anthony Bennett goes to the 76ers at 11. At number 12 will be Steven Adams, the center out of Pittsburgh, for the OKC Thunder. This was originally a Toronto Raptors pick, but OKC are looking to lift the Larry O'Brien Trophy again as soon as possible. So they have one of the league's best players at most positions, except center, giving them a little more depth there. So that seems like a assured up pick. OKC is a couple good players away from being the best team in the NBA. So shoring up the front court seems like a great move for them. At number 13, I have Jamal Franklin out of San Diego State being taken here. Mavs had pretty disappointing season last season. Coming 2 seasons off of winning the NBA championship, I see them taking the position where they have the least depth, which is at shooting guard, which narrows it down to Franklin and Karasev right here out of Russia. I just think Franklin's a little bit better. Dallas have had no trouble taking foreign players. Look at Dirk Nowitzki, but I see them taking a little bit of the safe bet here. Local product out of San Diego State, so I see the Mavs taking him. Number 14, a pretty consensus pick here. The Utah Jazz taking Shane Larkin, the point guard out of University of Miami, Florida. They have been looking for that player at point guard for as long as I can remember. They haven't been able to find anyone. So Larkin can step right in and help this team right away. Number 15, I do have Sergei Karasev, the shooting guard out of Russia, being taken by the Milwaukee Bucks. He, of course, foreign player, he will be looking for as much, experience in the backcourt as possible, and it's a good fit because Milwaukee don't have much backcourt depth at all. It may take some time for him adjusting to the NBA, or he might not even come over right away. Who knows? Look at what happened to Ricky Rubio. But Milwaukee's never had a problem taking risky picks. Look at Brandon Jennings, and that obviously worked out. So we'll see about that. Number 16, the Boston Celtics. I see them taking Shabazz Muhammad, the small forward at UCLA. Boston has a huge need at small forward. So taking Shabazz, the best one left on the board here. Since they only actually have Jeff Green on their roster as the only small forward, seems like just a great pick to take here. Of course, Boston's been dominated with the Doc Rivers trade to the Clippers, maybe being followed by Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett. We can even get some news in the trade that'd be pretty interesting tomorrow night. But I see them making just a safe pick here and taking Shabazz. At number 17, we have the Atlanta Hawks. I see them taking Mason Plumlee, the center out of Duke. The Hawks' biggest needs are actually at point guard and center, which is why the rumors of the Chris Paul and Dwight Howard coming to Atlanta thing would be perfect for them. But I don't see that happening at all, especially now that Doc Rivers is now the coach of the LA Clippers. So I see them focusing on their front court needs first and taking a well-known product in Plumlee. Number 18, I see the Atlanta Hawks are choosing again. This time they take their backcourt needs in Lorenzo Brown out of NC State. They just take the best point guard left on the board, someone to fill the position, and that's their next biggest need. So if they can get a center and point guard, it really doesn't matter what order they take Plumlee and Brown, but I just have Plumlee going first due to name recognition. Number 19, the Cleveland Cavaliers will be choosing again. They took a center last time, so their next two biggest needs are shooting guard, power forward. I think that Kelly Olynyk, the power forward out of Gonzaga, will be the choice here at number 19. He's such a talented player, and there aren't really that contingent of shooting guards, which should be taken in the mid-20s. Not anyone really worth the number 19 pick, so I see them focusing on that position and taking the Gonzaga power forward there. Number 20 is actually Archie Goodwin, the Chicago Bulls, taking the shooting guard out of Kentucky. I think they're going to take him a little early here. I don't think he's worth a number 20 pick. However, they have, they don't need help in a lot of areas, but, they might as well just make the safe bet here and take a shooting guard. And I see them doing that here. Someone to supplement Derrick Rose. Archie Goodwin, has played in the Midwest with Kentucky under John Calipari, so I see that being a pretty safe pick there. Number 21 is Gorgui Dieng. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. The center of the University of Louisville, going to the Utah Jazz at number 21. This is just addressing another need for the Utah Jazz here. I actually don't believe he actually was not taken at all in the BSN draft that I am linking below. So, with their first choice being Shane Larkin, the Utah Jazz, it makes sense to take someone in the front court here. Number 22, Tony Mitchell, the power forward out of the University of North Texas, going to the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn Nets are one of those stacked teams in basketball. They have a quality start at every single position, but power forward. So taking Tony Mitchell here can be someone who really can adjust nicely to the Big Apple, coming from a smaller college. Number 23, I have Reggie Bullock coming out of the University of North Carolina at shooting guard to the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers have depth at every position. Most people make the case they could have been the team in the finals over the Heat. Getting someone to supplement Paul George is not a bad choice at all, and Bullock has, the potential to be pretty good. So, especially at number 23, I think he'd be pretty good. Number 24 is the New York Knicks. I see them taking Dennis Schrader, the point guard out of Germany. With the retirement of Jason Kidd, the Knicks have no depth at point guard. I see them taking whoever the best point guard on the board at this point will be. I see that being Schrader. The Knicks don't have a history of taking foreign players at all. You have Jeremy Lin, but he played at Harvard before he came to the NBA. So coming from overseas, I don't know how he's going to translate, but he has good potential. He looked very impressive in the German league, so I think he'll be fine here. And number 25 is the LA Clippers. I see them taking Alan Crabb out of the University of California at shooting guard. Obviously, I think we're going to get the first taste of what can't think of his name. Doc Rivers wants out of the LA Clippers. So I see him taking a local product, safe choice. It's just going to take Alan Crabb there. Number 26, Minnesota Timberwolves are choosing again. I see him taking Jeff Withey, the center out of the University of Kansas. They already addressed their biggest need at point guard, so they're going to address another need here at center. I see him possibly making an impact as early as the beginning of next season. I think he's very, very good, and I think he can slip a little bit further here. So Minnesota can really get two good players out of this draft here. And him and, is it CJ McCollum who they choose earlier, who I have? They choose, CJ McCollum, who I had them taking at number 9. Then at number 27, Denver Nuggets take Grant Jarrett, the power forward out of the University of Arizona. Denver really don't have that many needs, but their biggest one is at power forward. There aren't too many people at this point left available at power forward who, are worthy of the number 27 pick. If they don't trade the pick, which I actually think they might be likely to do, I think they just address their biggest need here. Number 28, Glenn Rice Jr., son of the former NBA All-Star Glenn Rice, the small forward out of Georgia Tech, will be going to a team that his dad didn't play for in the San Antonio Spurs at number 28. I see, the Spurs were less than 30 seconds away from winning the NBA title this year, so they really don't need much. Getting someone to supplement Kawhi Leonard seems like the best move here as their youngest starter. At number 29, OKC picks again. I see him taking Ricky Lato, the shooting guard out of Providence. I should just taking the best player left on the board at this point. They've addressed all their needs already. They don't need much to begin with, and they've already had a pick in the first round. So they're taking someone who can supplement Kevin Durant and Leto. And with the last pick in the first round, the Phoenix Suns take Tony Snell, the shooting guard out of the University of Mexico. They have another need at shooting guard. The Suns do. So they're really adding Burke and Snell. They really are going with backcourt heavy here, and then hopefully they can get some big guys in free agency. So that is my first round. Leave your comments below. It should be a really, really, really great draft this year. It's one of the most deep drafts that I can remember. I know that as soon as you get down there, I know it might not be top heavy like in some years, but if you go a little bit further down, 6 through 10, you have so many people who can go in the top 5. It's very, very middle heavy this year. So let me know your thoughts, guys. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.